Welcome back to V-Roll. Today is Tuesday, where we look at things trending up in price, whether it's Pokemon sealed product or single cards. We're taking a look at stuff that's going up. Let's dive in. Obviously, the latest set, Prismatic Evolutions, is fluctuating. It's brand new. We have all this stuff happening. So, we need to make sure we're kind of watching it with a little bit of little reservation. Take it with a grain of salt, so to speak, because it moves quickly. Yes, we saw things shoot up for the FOMO prices. They came crashing down and then back up and all over the place. Here's the deal. Some of the highest pulls of Prismatic Evolutions are coming down in price. So what happens? People are able to buy it, but these prices are still too hot for most who are going to be able to do it. In the first couple of weeks, the big spenders, they're already done because they want it now. Turn it around, grade it, flip it, get it out there in a PSA 10, whatever it is. There's a lot of fast action happening in the first few weeks. So we're still a little too new to really get a good idea of the set, but we can see that the somewhat lesser tier are starting to be a little bit more regulated in their price. All right? But it does mean that if those hot ones are stabilizing or falling down here, there's still another bracket of money, and that's going to climb up. All right, that's what I mean by, how this stuff fluctuates, and you can see it in waves, and you'll see it as it goes on through time here. So SBN EX is coming up in price, a little over $400. It looks like for some of our lower listings here outside of the Japanese, just at $400. Then $1 shipping, so 401 is looking at our lowest, and then we're up to 440 after that. Seeing that happen here, you can see there's not a lot of sales happening on TCG Player. If these are just straight from TCG Player, I'm surprised there's this many sales at this price bracket here. So, but we are seeing fewer sales happening recently, and that's because it's hard to kind of commit to this. And as we go on through the Prismatic Evolutions, you're going to see Glaceon, similar story. It's gone up over time because while the demand is still there for the set and these evolutions, it's difficult to put the money into something like an Umbreon where you can go and get a Glaceon and others for the same money for sure. You could get 3, 4, 5 of these cards at that Umbreon price. So you're kind of hedging your bets of where you want to go, and in doing so, the sales are happening, so the price is climbing. But you can see as we go further down, you're going to see a few more sales happening on these compared to the previous cards we're looking at. But Glaceon's sitting around 312, somewhere in that neighborhood. Flareon EX about 345 says there. No, 277 here. It's going to be skewed because of Japanese out of the Terrestrial Festival. I really don't like how TCG Player has it completely separated, that you can do the Japanese cards and you can do the English cards, and you could search them that way, but still in the listings they are mixed, and I don't like that. So 345 is what we're seeing here for the Flareon EX. The Jolteon EX is putting us at, what are we looking here, 258 on that, and it's been a pretty steady climb. And again, couldn't do Umbreon, couldn't do Leafeon, couldn't do Sylveon. You had to kind of move to the next bracket of evolutions as far as popularity, as far as what people are willing to put the money in for, and that's why you see this climbing up, because it's lagging behind the other evolutions in how it's selling, that the money's moving there, so that money moves there, people raise it in price. This continued cycle is going to happen. If there's a demand for it, the price will go up. If the demand falls, the price has to come down to chase the buyers to hopefully be able to offload some of these EVEX out of Prismatic Evolutions. This is the one in the set. We will see the alternate one as a promo for English, whereas Japanese had both available. Looks like it actually stabilized quite a bit, a little up and down here. I don't know, kind of zigzagging, trying to find its home here. But for right now, 230 on that one. After you get past all the evolutions and the fact that those are increasingly difficult to get hold of, any of the special illustration rares are. I mean, they really are. So they all have an equal difficulty to pull. However, the evolutions have a higher rate of need. I don't know. There's more of a following for those. Higher demand. Is that the word I'm looking for? Maybe it's just a higher demand is all I'm looking for. But even still, demand over there has to shift because not everybody can be spending $300-400 on cards. So they shift to the next tier, the next level of things. Cerulege. I always mess these up. That's all there's to it. I just messed it up. So let's not waste too much time on it. We're at 175 here. Pretty steady climb here. Still not hitting from that original FOMO price with a few sold at 180, but we are working our way back up to it, and really quickly here, being only 3 weeks in, it looks like Dragon Ball EX. Surprising to see this one floating up so high here. The little FOMO price was about $50, and we're already at 132. Pretty crazy on some of these. Raging Bolt EX. I don't think this artwork is as good as the Temporal Forces Raging Bolt, but you know, that's for the community to decide, and I think they're priced about similar right now. Maybe Temporal Forces, being the chase card of that set, is doing a little better. 115 sitting here out of the Prismatic Evolutions. Palafin, really cool artwork. And finally, we're getting to something that's a little bit under $100 here, but not by much here. It's at 83 for this one for a near mint. Moving on to something else other than the Prismatic Evolutions. And that's going to be Brilliant Stars. Why Brilliant Stars? Well, I'm giving away a Brilliant Stars ETB, or I'm giving away a Pokemon Center version ETB of whatever's available at the time of the winner. We're going for 5,000 subscribers. I'm also going to give away 5 Pokemon mystery cards. 5 kind of worked. I think that's a good way to go. It's really not that big a deal, but it's just a little thank you back to the community for supporting the channel. All you got to do is like, comment, and subscribe. And in your comment, I want to know what it is you want to see out of Journey Together, the next set coming up. What do you want to see out of that? There's a handful of chase cards. I don't know if that set is really going to perform like some of these other recent ones, like Surging Sparks, so definitely not Prismatic Evolutions as far as I can tell. But what are you looking forward to out of that set? Getting back to a regular set, not a specialty set. Maybe the demand will be met a little bit better while we're in this bull market, crazy boom. I don't know. Let me know down below. Just curious of your thoughts on that. But make sure you enter the 5,000 subscriber giveaway. You got to go to this video here and leave an additional comment. That way you are entered to win this ETB or the other one, or those mystery card lots. So with the giveaway, Brilliant Stars is on the brain, and I just want to see, what is this Sword and Shield set doing? I know Evolving Skies is doing very well still, but I wanted to see where these other sets that kind of lagged behind, things that had a trainer gallery, other stuff, where they performed. And a couple sealed products there. The booster box, this is going to be your benchmark of status here. We're climbing up pretty recently following this boom, and actually that's pretty quick, about a month's time to be going in the neighborhood of $200 up to now almost $300, and we're stabilizing a little bit. Is this going to be a correction of it? Maybe. Are we going to find a new norm in this price range, or is it coming down? I don't know. It's only been a couple weeks here where we're seeing that change happening. If you start getting into a $282.95, yeah, we're about a $300 box on this. If you start getting into the later listings here, $300 box on Brilliant Stars, which is good. I think that's a decent price for the set, where it's at, the trainer gallery, the fact that it's a Charizard set. You have a lot of alt arts. You have the trainer gallery and Arceus. You got some other good ones in here, some good popular Pokemon. The ETB, the regular ETB here, is finally getting past its MSRP. When we had Sword and Shield, the MSRP on an ETB was $39.99, so a $40 ETB, okay? So 46 here, 47, but then you have the shipping that we're looking at. So we're seeing really in the like 50, 60 range here, a little bit more. Market's saying 65. So this has really climbed up quite a bit just recently, because it's actually been sitting just barely over MSRP for quite a little while here. And that's the thing with a lot of Pokemon sets. Even if they're hot when they came out, Brilliant Stars was pretty popular when it came out. And even if they get dried up, over time, they're not hard to find. You can see these things and get some availability and then be able to pick them up. And then that starts to climb, because there's nothing being printed. There's nothing on the shelves, and people aren't able to do anything. And anything that you see online or anything like that, people are opening them, okay? So the more that gets open, the less sealed is available. So the sealed is going to go up. The demand is there, if it's there, rather. And then the prices are going to rise. So even sets that aren't as popular, battle styles and stuff, those are all climbing up a little bit. And Brilliant Stars has a little bit more popularity behind it. Charizard, for one, Charizard V, alternate art, I think this did a number, and for a while there it didn't seem like this was going to be super popular. Now this is the price point I can get on board with personally. I can get on board with a $200 chase card out of this set, and then they're down from there. But it's taken time to even get to this point. I mean, if you look at it, just 3 months ago, $150 for this card, and it's only gone up $50 in 3 months. Now that would be a little bit nicer to me if we saw sets that are currently coming out, like Surging Sparks, Twilight Masquerade, the Greninja comes to mind, Prismatic Evolutions, and the forthcoming Journey Together, which already has some speculating prices that are kind of in the hundreds of dollars for a handful of those cards. Seems a little bit too new and too early to tell, for my opinion, but interesting to see these price points that are coming out. That Modern just has a new level, and we're in a boom, we're in a market boom, so we got to calm down and don't FOMO, all the usual things. And kind of looking back at some of these sets, these have had some stable growth, because if you look at the last year of this set, we've been at a peak before of this $200, and it came way down. So there is hope in the future of these other sets that once upon a time a year ago, this Charizard, for instance, was $117, $118, and it climbed up quick to our big boom when everybody's going for the alt arts in May. Things were really popping off this past May in 2024, and then it settled down after that 200s, and the new balance came out to like 130, 150, and it did climb. People don't want to lose the value of that $200 spend, but it was short-lived and it wasn't too crazy. But anybody in between there, from the 150 range back up to the 150 range on the other side, they were probably feeling it for a little while, like, oh man, I overspent, and then it came down, and how do I get away with this, and realize this is a good investment? Well, guess what? Time is how you get there, because for the most part, if it sold at that once before, it probably will again. There are very few instances where a price shoots up super high for a Pokemon card or a Pokemon product, and then it crashes way down and then stays there forever. There are a few instances of that, all right? So vintage, during some of these crazy booms, have followed in that place where they've had some really big spikes, and it will take a long time, but maybe those recoveries will happen eventually. I don't know. So those might be the only instances I could think of off the top of my head. I'm spending way too much on this Charizard. Umbreon VMAX. Well, why not another Umbreon doing well? Because Umbreon's got the popularity. The Evolutions have the popularity. This was the Trainer Gallery pull of the set for sure. And for a time, it was $20 card or something like that. Not even a year ago here, we were looking at a $20 card. Thinking, okay, it's cool, but it's not going to go crazy. But that May boom hit. Couldn't get the alt arts. People were getting priced out, so they moved to the Trainer Gallery, hired, and added value. Then we had to reset our level, but we came down into a baseline of 30, 35, somewhere in there. And now we're on this big boom spike again here. What I'm thinking is, and this is just my opinion, this is not anything more than looking at it and thinking it through and paying attention to the hobby and how it works out, that with these trend lines, we should see a little recovery. I don't know if we'll stay stabilized here at this $100 or $85, whatever the market's telling us here. It looks like, probably going to be safe calling it $80 here for a lot of these. For an $80 card on the Trainer Gallery, I don't know if we'll be stabilizing at that point. It's probably going to come back down somewhere in between, not the 30, not the 80, but maybe we'll be at that $55 range for quite some time after things settle down, if and when that happens. Charizard V-Star, the Rainbow Secret Rare. Now, rainbows are not super common anymore, right? We get it on the border of the SIRs, but we're not seeing it anywhere else yet. Maybe rainbows will come back. Maybe they'll have their day. I feel like they haven't had the love that they otherwise could have, based on the uniqueness of them over time. We're not at an all-time high in the last year. Actually, we've come down quite a bit from a year ago, from 60 down to just 58. So not a major loss here, but similar trend line that the May time frame had a little bit of peak, a little settling down, and then we're coming back up. This is just the whole set. This is the whole hobby as a whole. I mean, all Sword and Shield was doing this because of the alt arts. And if you couldn't do alt arts, you moved to things like the other secondary, third, fourth listed pulls out of sets. Umbreon V, another one, and now I think we're chasing on that Prismatic Evolutions, the Evolution vibes. All things Eevee are going up quite a bit, and here we are peaking out at almost $60 on this one. The Sylveon VMAX, yet again, another Eevee came up towards the top of the list for Brilliant Stars because of the Evolution, $53 for market right now on that Sylveon VMAX. They're nice, they look good, and this is kind of the look that I think would have been more exciting for the upcoming Journey Together, having the Trainer Gallery feel rather than what we've seen so far. I'm not impressed. I'm sorry, I'm just not impressed with the style of it, where these interactive trainers with their prospective Pokemon seem to be a little bit better, in my opinion, as far as how they're correlating or interlaced into the scenery here, or working with their partnership within the scene. So You know, just some thoughts. I don't know. I'm all over the place. I'm always thinking weird stuff, and I can't get it out fast enough. It's too much to say. Don't forget about that giveaway. I'm doing an ETB giveaway for 1 lucky subscriber, 5 Pokemon mystery card lots going out to 5 additional subscribers. All we got to do is get to 5,000 subscribers, and with your support, that is possible. I went a little earlier in the video telling you exactly what you need to do, so please go through those few little steps. But of course, like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the bell because I post 7 days a week. And with that, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.